Hello everyone and welcome to the one-shot of Black Crusade in the Warhammer 40K universe. Just before we begin, there's the... I just want to check something with you guys. I use a system called the Veils and Lines system, which is basically to avoid subjects that could cause that could be trauma related to some players or cause problems. So simply put, the lines are things that we as players don't want to have in the game at all, and the veils are things we're okay with having in the game, or that could happen to the players, but just we don't want to get too much into the description. Like personally, I don't want to get too much in descriptions of sex or torture, and my lines are rape and child abuse. So, do you have anything you want to add to that list before we begin?
Nothing I can think of.
Nora, no, I'm good with what's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So be sure I'm understanding it right. Lines are a hard no. Veils are. We're just gonna pass right over that.
We say it happens. We don't go into describing it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure we had that clear.
All right. So before we begin, we should start by presenting the two characters in your warband. Starting with Carl.
So my character is Carl Gamora, a regular human psyker. He's an escapee from the inquisitorial black ships that collect heretics. He actually got captured by one, but the ship was ambushed by cultists. And he managed to escape in the in all the chaos in all the havoc and confusion after they took out the engines.
Okay. All right. And Akhenaten, you want to talk? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll be playing Akhenaten, a sorcerer from the long-lost Thousand Sons Legion, who fell from grace a long time ago when Wolfie Boy got mad and stomped their home. Turns out that had a profound psychological effect on most of the Legion, and caused a lot of them to start looking in places they really shouldn't. Enter Zinch. I've kind of been stuck with him ever since, thanks to a ploy my father made long ago to save me from turning into a really, really messed up mutant. So I guess thanks for that, Dad, but killing most of my Legion, yeah, that kind of hurt a bit. So I'm just kind of wandering the stars looking for any type of knowledge that might help me in the way of rectifying that ancient mistake.
So both of your characters have joined a group of raiders. You specialize in attacking prison worlds and black ships, freeing the prisoners and helping them onto the correct path of chaos. Today, you're walking through the half mechanical, half organic corridors of your ship, heading to the brig where you are about to be given a mission. The two of you are sort of like the two of you are a team. You're a war band on this ship. You work together for chaos. The place smells a lot because the person who's in charge of this ship is aligned to Nurgle, and a lot of has blessed his own ship with the decay of Nurgle multiple times. And yeah, as you're heading towards your mission briefing, what do your characters say as they see each other in the corridors?
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
I think for me the smell has stayed more or less terrible.
Thank the gods I still have my auto sensors to help filter some of this filth out. I don't want to catch anything untoward, he says, looking around at the visible corruption.
By the way, you have because you're playing a class from one of the a character from one of the expanded books. You already have 2 gifts of the god from your mutations. Akhenaten, care to describe a bit what these are?
Yes, I have been rather blessed, it would seem, as my character seems to be suffused with the stuff of chaos. As he's walking, you can notice that there's arcing blue and green Eldritch lightning just kind of flaring over his armor every now and then, occasionally going his helm, arcs to his eyes, and so on. But that's not the real draw of the eye. That would be his pretty large avian wings sprouting from his power pack. Most people aren't familiar with Astartes grade technology, especially Legion grade, but they should notice it usually doesn't come with wings.
So
Yeah, Carl has never seen Carl has probably in his life never seen any of the Astartes loyalist or traitor until this
quite the
day.
specimen before you know.
Yes.
The wings casually, just lazily kind of unfurl themselves and furl back in every now and then, almost as like a twitch reaction.
As we go deeper into the ship, Carl will put on his gas mask, if just out as a nervous habit, if just out of sheer nerves around all the rot and plague.
Yeah, can't be too safe around Papa Nurgle.
So you make it to the brig and you find this specimen there. The leader of your group of raiders. He's on the
Oh boy.
in the background, and he tells you, finally, all right. Well, now we can all begin. There's other members of there's other soldiers on this ship, and different captains of the different ships of this raider group that are all present inside of this room, and your leader, that's everybody just calls the general most of the time, is with a flick of his wrist, he shows on screen a group of a few ships, and you can see that some of them are black ships used by the Imperium to harvest Psykers from as many worlds as possible, bring them to Terra, and either get them to serve the Empire or to be sacrificed to feed the false emperor, as you call him. And he's telling you, all right, this fleet right there, they recently took some damage. They took a detour from their schedule to go to a world that was rebelling, and we know for a fact that they're transporting a bunch of prisoners to a prison world on their way back to Terra. This is a great opportunity. We're going to attack them as they drop out of the warp, right in front of the prison world where they're going to drop their people, and then we're going to liberate them. We try to get the rebels who were trying to do whatever they were trying to do on their home world to join us, and use them as cannon fodder to free the rest of the Psykers who are on board. All right. Maximus, you're at the forefront, and you'll be taking the guard ships. And then he turns to you two, and he says, "You'll be in one of the docking parties."
I nodded this.
Carl does the same.
Okay.
This Maximus, what does he look like? Out of curiosity.
Maximus is he's a raider. He wears a sigil of corn and he's a human.
Okay, I see the sigil of corn and I stay away.
All right, so you are. You're given orders. You're sent to different ships. Yours is going to be one of the drop ships that is created in order that is made to be able to slam at extremely high speeds against
like
the ship.
The
boarding torpedo.
The boarding torpedoes, yeah.
Yeah, you're in boarding torpedoes. They have been specially augmented by the general. You know that through the blessings of Nurgle, the general has made them more resistant to damage and less likely to explode when against the defenses of the ships you're going to attack. But there is one big downside to those upgrades: the smell.
Oh, of course. It just seems to go with us wherever we go.
And also the fact that the mutated spirit of the machine of the torpedo has tentacles that try to rope you every now and then when you're in there.
Okay, so you see Akhenaten in his grab harness, just batting them away occasionally as they get too close.
Just standing there awkwardly, batting at them like, no, bad.
It's like,
Bad.
no. Zinch not Slaanesh. Bad tentacle.
All right. So, you. All right. So your ships are staying in the warp until the right moment to attack comes, and when your sensors indicate that that your target has come near the prison world that it's supposed to, you escape from the warp. And you see that their own portal is barely closing behind the black ship and the ships that of the Inquisition that guard it. And you see that there's less ships guarding the black ship now that there were on the screens of the general. Apparently, the warp has taken its toll on the watchdogs, on the lapdogs of the Emperor, but before you can comment on this, you're pushed backwards by the immense acceleration of the torpedo you're in. Yes.
Carl's just like, well, this is new.
Okay.
Akhenaten just smiles beneath his faceplate. It's been a long time since he's felt this.
Okay. So, all right. I'm going to ask both of you to roll a toughness check at +10, and to resist to show how well your characters are taking this deep acceleration.
Oh no!
Okay.
I almost want to infamy that to re-roll it, but
you're going to take.
What?
Why was your target 0?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Oh, it's because you put a +10 in there. The modifier just has to be 10.
Oh.
Yeah, it has to be 10. Was that
the only one time you specify is negative modifiers?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Was that a success for you?
Probably not, but I don't know.
For my character, no. A 60.
Yeah.
A 60 is, I believe that's only 1 degree of failure, though.
Okay.
Well, I have many.
All right. So, just give me 1 second to check this. Yeah, here it is. Special conditions. Sorry, I'm not as used to this system as I am with others because it has it has a lot of things going for it.
Oh, it's
at
got
the
a
same
lot
time.
going on.
Oh yeah, no worries, man. There's a lot of moving parts in the system.
Yeah.
I heard good things about it, just still very crunchy.
If you click the drop-down box, you can see the different conditions.
Yeah, I'm looking at it real quick.
Sure.
Okay. So, addition to damage and event constant. Okay. So both of you feel stunned. So anyone who tries to hit you have a plus 20 to their attacks. And you cannot take actions or reactions such as evasion. A stunned character is not helpless or unaware. You will stay stunned for just a little for just a little bit. All right. So your ship accelerates extremely fast to the point where both of you are feeling dizzy, and but thanks to this acceleration, you're not taken down by the guns of the black ship shooting at you. On either next to you, you see Maximus's warship getting obliterated by the lasers from the guarding ship, but you slam against the hull of the black ship, and immediately the flesh of the ship moves to block the to stop air from leaving, and opens the door, and you find yourself in the middle of a not cantina, what are those called? Mess hall, and you are surrounded. And there's you're surrounded by bodies, and a lot of them start to flee. But there are two arbitrators guarding this part of the ship, who take out their weapons and stand to face you. What do you do?
I raise my bolter and fire.
Okay. So we're going to roll for initiative. That is 1d10 plus your agility modifier. Agility, yeah, I think it's called modifier. Plus your 10, your.
So 1d10 plus the 10's number of your stat agility.
Yep, that is correct.
All right.
Oh.
So so we're going to play in the order in which we rolled. Carl being last, and Akhenaten being first, and the arbitrators being in the middle. What do you do?
All right. I see. What do the arbitrators appear to be armed with? Like their pitchers, or do they have different armaments?
They both have the sort of like stun batons that are crackling with energy, and they also have las guns.
Okay. Well, I'll take a aim at the leftmost target and unleash a shot.
Okay.
So half aim and single fire with my bolt gun.
Okay. Single fire and okay. So you get a plus 20 to your in total because you're aiming and doing a single shot. Yes.
Yep. And this is regular ammo, not warp fire, because I have those bolts as well.
Okay.
All right. So I'll just roll half aim. And what's the distance between myself and my target? Is it short range?
Yeah, you're within short range.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Hey,
Okay, so so that gives you 5 degrees of success. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Oh.
Yep.
The degrees of success for a single shot don't affect anything, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes, unless the weapon's accurate, but this weapon isn't.
Okay. So 13 explosive damage, penetration 4. So they have an armor of 4 plus a modifier of toughness of 3. So they only take 10 damage. So he only takes 10 damage. 1 second. And he crumples to the floor dead.
Hoo-hoo.
The other one is going to attempt shooting at you since you look like the more imposing out of the people coming out of the dropship. By the way, the people there were other people with you inside of the torpedo ship, but the impact against the hull killed or maimed them to the point where they won't be able to fight.
Oh, okay. They were pretty much screwed on impact.
Yeah, basically. All right. So, I get a plus 20 to hit you, and he he's going to that's a plus 0. It's plus 20. Yeah, he's going to attack you with the semi-auto, and he's going to aim with his own. No, actually, he starts to retreat back with his other half action, and just shoot at you. So it's 10, 3. That's 20. Okay. Wait. Oh, yeah, I rolled a 93. Okay. He,
I think it's usually 95 or greater.
Yeah, and also it's a last gun. I don't think those jam, but
No, I don't. They might not.
might be wrong.
It's a flashlight.
To you.
Yeah.
All right. It's Carl's turn. What is Carl doing?
All right, Carl will, seeing that he's under the arbitrator, make the attack and fail miserably at harming the traitor marine next to him. He's actually going to use his psychic powers, which he trusts more than his gun.
Mm-hmm.
Which will cast Doombolt.
All right. Okay, so that is a half action. You roll for willpower. You roll under willpower, and it is within range, so you're good.
Yeah, just checking to see what the. Okay, it's a normal willpower test. I believe I get a bonus for my
Are you rolling? Okay, so when you make this roll, you have to specify if you are attempting to restrain your power to avoid psychic phenomena. If you're using it as normal, or if you're pushing. So that would mean
Carl will use his powers unfettered. So it is his base psi rating of 3, which goes off of. Double checking the focus power. It's
Sorry, go ahead.
I believe it's willpower plus 5 for every point of psi rating, and then and then a plus 10 for his psi focus piece of gear.
Okay.
So.
All right. And also, you because you are unbound, you're going to have to roll for psychic phenomena immediately.
Yay! My favorite part.
Well,
this is how it starts.
I'm using unfettered. I'm not pushing. It says if I roll doubles during a focus power test, I have to roll for psychic phenomena.
Oh,
is that a?
Oh yes. You're right. You would just have to roll at +10. Never mind. Okay. Then let's hope you roll a double for some extra bonus surprise effects.
Come on, 99 or 100.
Unfettered. Sorry, I'm trying to get the thing.
Oh, the macros on the sheet might not work. You might just have to do the focus test separately.
Yeah.
Because I was doing it earlier and it was telling me to roll under 0.
Yeah, I had a problem too when I was rolling for the weapon skill. It told me the target was 20, but it should have that was just the modifier.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it should have been 55. I still missed.
Less than. That is holy shit.
That's an 11. You know what that means.
That's 6 degrees of success.
Okay, that's great. So what's so you're going to hit him. It's a doom bolt. Does he have any chance of being able to dodge that? I think so. Yes.
I believe so. It is. Let's see. It is Doombolt is a psychic barrage that deals 1d10 plus my psi rating and energy with a penetration of 8.
Okay. Let me just roll to. Yeah, but with the you have 6 degrees of success. There's no way I can top that. Yeah, I just have. That's just 2 degrees of success. So you hit him.
Oh, I get. Let's see. Okay, Psychic Barrage is a cluster of bolts. It's a psychic power that functions like firing semi-auto. So I get 3 more. So I got 6 degrees of success. So I hit. He takes 4 hits of damage.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. This is going to hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could scuff the roll.
Go ahead and roll all of the damage. How much? It's penetration 6, you said, or 8?
8.
Okay, that's more than his armor and toughness combined. So just roll away.
Just destroy him. Poor guy was just sitting there having lunch.
Yeah, I'm just rolling them all at once and adding all the bonuses together because it doesn't even matter. Since you said it doesn't even matter, or he's not resisting any of the damage.
Yeah.
Holy hell! And to kill a minor demon.
And then there was Arbitrator Soup. But don't think I've forgotten that you just rolled an 11.
Oh,
I was weak for that.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize. So you still got your wish.
Yeah. So,
Psychic Phenomena.
You
plus 10.
Okay, so yeah, you roll 1d100 plus 10.
Yep. Please no perils.
Please perils.
Please perils.
No.
This is a one shot. Let's have fun with this.
Yeah.
At least let's give it a. Okay, 51. 51
is actinic discharge. Static electricity fills the air within 5d10 meters, causing the air to stand on end, causing hair to stand on end, and unprotected electronics to short out while the Psyker is wreathed in eldritch lightning. So both of you are generating lightning from the warp right now, and I think that yeah. Okay, so you start deactivating. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah. Okay. You start deactivating electronics all around you, and like you can see like a champion of chaos who had like survived the crash to the against the hull, who steps out behind you, and you short out his the thing the device that was keeping his heart beating, and he collapses on the floor.
Yeah.
I survived. I did.
Okay.
Here, I'll roll the range too, just for shits and giggles. Everything within 23 meters just did that.
Okay.
So some roided up champion of Khorne, barely on his last legs, trying to redeem himself, walks up and is like, "Okay, I was a little dazed, but I was good."
And you shorted out his pacemaker.
Yep, and he just hits the dirt.
For Khorne, splat.
All right. So I'm now going to ask both of you to roll awareness,
Okay.
and if you succeed, that's okay. That's a success. I can attend because you noticed it. Go ahead and roll for Forbidden Lore Psykers if you have it.
I did
Already.
not notice. Carl did not notice anything. He's so busy realizing how powerful he is. Oh
Yeah.
wow!
You're just filled with power, so you don't notice at all. I can attend. You're going to notice this. Basically, like a few of the bolts that went through the arbitrator kept going, but before they could hit the metal walls and the food generators and towards the back of the room, they simply vanished in puffs of smoke. It's as if there's something that completely blocked the psychic powers when they came near it, and you realize there's a good that it's typical for that to happen, but there's probably some blanks on this ship right now.
Ah, yes. This is a prison ship, or is it the black ship itself?
You are on the black ship, right?
Ah, okay, then yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of nulls on here. All right, I will. I'll tell my compatriot here that we may face problems going forward.
What kind of problems? Yeah, what kind of problems?
The kind that stop your lightning. Nulls, boy, nulls.
They
Knowles,
could
Knowles
stop your,
it's just that Toy Story meme. Knowles everywhere.
they could stop your lightning, or in this or a better way to rephrase it is they could steal your thunder.
Hey!
Hey!
Nice. Depending on how powerful they are, they might do more than that.
Yeah.
Oh God,
I think
Sisters of
particularly-
Sounds incoming.
Depending on the lore, the more powerful ones can just give Psykers seizures just by existing.
Just by proximity, yeah.
Okay. On the floor, you see the communicator of one of the arbitrators, like through the static. A voice asks, deck 3. Deck 3, mess hall section. You've been hit by a torpedo. What's your status? Deck 3?
Quick question before I do anything. When I shot that guy, did he cry out? And if so, was it enough for me to accurately gauge the sound of his voice?
Yes, he did, and if since you have mimic, you might need to make a roll for that too. But you did hear him not only cry out in pain, but before that he had a couple of last words that were heretics die. So there's that.
All right.
What
I'll pick up
person-
the comms voice and then do my best to impersonate him.
Just a malfunction. Everything's fine here. How are you?
Is there? This is the mess hall. Is the like food prep area close by?
They have like food generators towards the back of the room that create this sort of brown sludge to feed everyone with nutrients.
Okay. And what would that typically be called? The device itself.
Oh, I'm just gonna say with a food generator.
Okay.
Or like, yeah.
All right, so I'll pick up the comms device, and in this guy's voice, as best as I can muster, I'll say, food generator malfunction, require immediate tech adept to whatever deck this is.
Deck food.
Yep.
All right. The voice gets back to you and says, what about the ship that just crashed against you? What about the servants of the chaos who are attacking this deck? What's happening?
They did not see. They didn't.
Sorry,
not
I
see
was being talked to out of character. What just happened?
Oh, the voice asks you, what about the ship, the torpedo ship that just crashed against you? What's the status in that regard?
It was loaded with heretics, but they died on impact.
Okay, I'm going to have to ask you to be convincing
Mm-hmm.
by
Deceiving him?
Yep, roll to deceive.
Oh, Can I spend an infamy to auto-pass that where it's less than a degree of failure?
Okay, so is that in the? Oh, sorry.
Usually it's done preemptively to give you a +10 bonus.
Okay, well, this is a one shot, and we're still like getting used to the rules and everything. So yeah, good. You can spend that point to lower the to succeed.
Okay.
All right. So you deceive them, and the person at the other end says, all right, canceling reinforcements, and we'll send someone to repair the food generators once the battle is over. Now go to your combat posts.
Understood, and I'll kill the comlink.
All right.
And I'll look at my companion here as if we just dodged a bit of a bullet, or several bullets, in fact.
In a sense of speaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold on to this comm device just in case.
Might be useful.
Yeah. Or Vox, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. What are you going to do now?
Do I have access to, or were we given access to the ship schematics beforehand? Would that have been available to us?
Yeah, you have it's not your first time raiding black ships. You have a good idea of the typical layout, but every now and then Mars changes the design a little bit. But you've got an idea of like where the most of the Psykers would be held, and if there's extra. What are they called? If there's extra prisoners like there are right now, you also have a general idea of where they would be held to. So,
okay,
what are you going to? Mm-hmm.
I'm going to. I guess I'll turn to Carl and see if he thinks we should go for the prisoners first. I think we should.
If you think that they're going for the Psykers first would be too dangerous with the whatever those things you were talking about are, then perhaps having their prisoners go kill them for us might be better.
Exactly, and even if they can't kill them for us, they can at least, I don't know, soak up a few rounds for us. All right, I guess that's settled. I'll start leading us in the direction of the, I guess they'd be like the non-essential prisoners, the non-psychic ones that wouldn't be as heavily guarded.
Okay. I think that is going to be I think that's going to be a logics test to find your way to where to remember the schematics and get there and head in the head not only in the right direction but also maneuver your way in a way where you're going to avoid problems.
Sure. Would my familiarity give me any bonuses to that test?
No, it would allow you to make the test.
Okay, so it's flat roll. Got it.
Yeah. It's instead of rolling for.
Oh, come on! Right?
So close, man.
Yeah.
So you are going to encounter some trouble. You make it. Okay, so you make it through.
Oh,
the.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I activate precognition before I do that?
Yeah, as you're go ahead and roll for that. Are you unfettered? Fettered? Oh my God! You just have no luck at all. You're always so close.
It would seem, right? I can just get close enough to touch it, but not. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, you got to declare before you roll your psychic powers if you're doing this fettered. Unfettered,
yeah. This is fettered. I only, or sorry, just for your reference, because I have the warp staff, I only generate phenomena if I push.
Okay.
And then if I use unfettered, every time I use, or I would cause psychic phenomena, I just get my psi rating and damage to my next psychic power.
Your psi rating, like a penalty, you mean?
No, a bonus. But if the next power I use doesn't have any damage, it's lost.
Okay.
So it turns the psychic phenomena
Oh.
into basically like a mini crit, is what I'm hearing, or as I understand it. Okay.
Also, I didn't add my full bonus to that roll. I just realized because you get a bonus of +5 per willpower, right? Or not willpower, sorry, per psi rating. And I think Psychic Hood also gives another 5.
You use your full psychic rating when determining the bonus applied to your focus power tests and any effects the power has. Okay. Yeah. So you use your so you get so you get your psi rating as a bonus to the roll.
Okay, so it should be a +20 bonus. I have a 63, so I should have been targeting under 83, which means that would have been a success.
Okay. Then you've cast Precognition.
Sweet. I see the future.
Wait. How much is your willpower?
It was 53. I invested the +10. Now it's 63, and then the bonus was 20. 15 from psi rating and 5 from the psychic code.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So, can you remind us what this power does?
Sure. Let me just open up my Psychana. Precognition. The Psyker's mind skims the warp for glimpses of the immediate future, seeking to discern threats to himself so that he may avoid them. Many latent Psykers are unknowing of the gift they possess, considering their survival to be a matter of luck, while the Elder Seers described it as an act of defiance against the fate-weaving crone goddess Morai Heg. While this power remains in effect, the Psyker gains a bonus to all evasions tests equal to twice his psychic rating.
Okay.
And it's also a prerequisite for activating other precognitive abilities.
So that gives you a +6.
Yep.
To evasion tests. Okay. Carl, I think you have the same power, yes?
Yes, because that's basically the entry level thing for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Seeing as you're likely to be in danger soon, do you want to activate it too?
Sure. I will attempt to make that roll. It is. Let me double check what I got a roll for that. Precog runs on Psyniscience plus Perception, or Psyniscience based on Perception.
Really, it's not a willpower roll.
Is it? Oh, okay.
I think it changes depending on which power you're using.
Yeah, I think it's Psyniscience, but it's Psyniscience key to willpower. Because Psyniscience can be key to either.
Yeah, it can be
that or intelligence.
Let's see. Let me check. I've got the book open.
Sure.
Precognition. Ordinary Clinician's test. It doesn't specify.
Hold on.
I'll look up the actual Clinician skill, see what it says for determining between the two possible characteristics.
Mm-hmm. Also, it gives you a +10 when you cast it, so that's good.
Oh yeah, I did count for that. Never mind. So I would have been rolling under 93. It doesn't actually. It just says it's perception based.
Yeah, I think it goes off. I think it only goes off will if depend on. I think it might only go off will depending on the power.
Could be right. Either way, I can make another test. 1 second.
Anyways, and that's the focus. So, let's see. Let me find my Clinician skill. And the modifier
is that with all of your modifiers?
That's with all of my modifiers this time.
Okay.
All right, and then
Zinch, why must you do this to me?
So like when you don't get glimpses of the future, since you're like in your down, like since you're like just running through the corridors at this point, you can recast it. You can try to focus your will once more. It's just that after that, you'll have reached a point where you might have trouble. So you can re-roll that Clinician's test.
Okay, I will try that.
I'm rolling mine.
And yeah, Elias, you can also roll.
God dang it, Bobby. What Clinicians?
Yep, and I got my Clinicians based on perception, plus 5, and I'm casting normally unfettered. That's a plus 15, and then with my Psyfocus item, that's another plus 10. So my perception plus 25.
And the power itself is rolled at a plus 10.
With a plus 10, so 35.
Yeah.
So that stacks up to 77. 77 or less. So close to that too. Why?
you also get time to re-roll it.
Yeah, you got another reroll, buddy.
So you had that awesome moment where both of you like just charged through and killed the arbitrators, but now you're just struggling to get a single.
It's just the suggestion of a blank being nearby. It just puts a so on it. We can't manifest anything.
Oh yeah, no, actually, there's a blank nearby. Why am I letting you roll for these?
Oh no.
Whoops, sorry.
Thank you for reminding me. I think I just really wanted you to roll Perils of the Warp. That's why I was letting you do this.
Too bad we got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts. None.
Yeah, this is literally the most basic divination power too, which makes it so much worse.
No, especially for Zinchian Marine. It's like,
This is what I'm supposed to be good at.
Haven't you been doing this for like 10,000 years?
You would think, but apparently not.
All right. So what happens is that you're going to reach this. You're going to reach this the lower part of the hull, which is this huge hall, and basically there's pits into giant pits in the ground in which a bunch of prisoners have been stacked, and they're not tied to anything. They're just in a pit with the highs that are sleek and with the walls that are sleek and high. Meaning, and it seems to be why they're why they can't escape. And there's like 4 square pits that are separated, and at the top of the wall there's a railing so that you can so that people can walk across. And because you failed your logic test, you got here while they were. It took you a while to get here, and so when you get here, you see a group of 5 arbitrators who are they're escorting this person. And you can feel you've got like a headache just by looking at him. And the leader of the arbitrator is giving orders. Apparently, there's some psychics on deck 4 that are unleashing their powers, trying to use the confusion of the battle to try to escape. So they're moving a blank. They're moving this blank over there,
and he just happens to be in our path.
Familiar.
Yeah. So 5 arbitrators, and they haven't seen you yet. So you could technically try to hide. They're heading like out of this room in the direction in the general direction in which you are. What do you do?
Does there appear to be any side rooms we can like duck into really fast?
That would have to be determined by a stealth check.
Okay. Oh boy, I'm not trained. That's gonna be a shit show. I'll try it.
Ditto.
And then my backup plan is to throw a grenade at them if they see us.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. 71 out of 25. -8. Wait, what?
What? I think I. Hold on. Did I hit the wrong thing? -20.
No, that's still coming up as -8. What is your your agility?
My agility is 32.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I think there's a wait. If you're not trained, you get a penalty of -20.
Yes, that's correct.
It's already taken it into account.
Oh, okay. So that.
Yeah. It's already taken it into account because you didn't check that box. This character sheet is actually pretty well made. So both of you roll a 71. So both of you are
Stealth and power armor. Clomp,
yes.
clomp, clomp, clomp.
Spotted, which means both of you should roll initiative.
Yep. Same roll as last time. All right, I'll take it.
Okay, you both act before I do. So the arbitrators are raising their weapons towards you and preparing to attack. Akhenaten, you're first to go. What do you do?
All right. I'm warring between my 2 instincts to unload my bolter into them, or just throw a grenade and be done with it.
Yes.
Kind of lean towards grenade. Think I might just do that.
I mean, is the Psyker, or not the Psyker, the blank? Is he obviously armed and armored in any way, or are they just having him walk around?
He has a las gun too, but he's not armored like they are.
Okay.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna target him, and I'm going to throw a Legion frag grenade.
Okay. What's the range on those babies?
Strength bonus times 3, so my range would be...
No. How big is the...
4 meters.
4 meters, okay. You're good. They're evened out, so you would only hit 3 of the arbitrators, and the black if you hit, which you did. So, go ahead and roll for... Oh, wait, no. They get to roll for dodge, right?
They do, yeah.
4 degrees of success.
Assuming that their half movement could take them out of that 4 meter blast radius. So I don't know if the black guy can, but I think the other guys can.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right.
I'm not gonna lie, the blank looks a little bit like caricature. Looks a little bit like fan art of the Emperor in plain clothes.
That's because a lot of blanks are there's a type of blanks that are biological descendants of the Emperor because he fucked around during his life. And
Like you would.
I thought those were the sensei.
That's what they're called. And they and so basically they look a lot like him, and they're all blacks.
Oh boy.
So some of them are having a worse day than others. Yeah. So one of them dodges, the rest are going to take the damage.
And take 13 points of explosive damage.
What is the penetration on that?
No pen.
No penetration. Okay. So that means only. Yeah, that means okay. So that's 4. Okay. It's been a year since I've had to since I've taken care of damage in this game. Can you Scimitar, you know like when do you roll for criticals? No, wait, they're not.
Criticals aren't. They're damage based. Critical effects, you mean? They're a table within the sheet, or sorry, within the core rulebook. And the way it works is when the character in question or enemy takes wounds in excess of their wound total, they get placed on that chart based on how many wounds in excess they are, and then that increases the severity of the critical effect. So, depending on how many wounds he is below his threshold and where he got hit, you determine what the result is based on those tables.
They're not below that. They're not below that threshold. The blank, on the other hand, is not wearing any armor, so he is vaporized by your grenade.
That was my intention.
He's the only one. He's the one we were scared of.
yes, very much so. Is throwing a grenade is a half action, correct?
I have to check this one.
Sure.
Using the actions, blah blah blah. Okay. It doesn't have any half auto or full auto, right?
Correct.
So
it's just a grenade.
So the only thing that you could, you needed a half action to ready the grenade.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, you have your 2 weapons in your hands, right?
Right now it would just be the bolt gun. The other 2 weapons are mag locked to my my battle armor.
Okay, so I don't think your character went around with like the gun and 1 grenade ready. So you had to ready it. That was a half action.
Astartes do have quick draw though, which means it's a free action to ready and throw a weapon.
Okay, never mind. And I think it's a half action to a standard attack.
It has rate of fire. It's technically single shot.
Okay, so you still have a half action.
Okay.
Now?
Now that the null is gone, I would like to attempt to manifest a neural storm targeting the next guy in line. Actually, I'll target the guy who hasn't been hit by anything yet.
Okay.
The one that was outside of the blast radius.
Okay.
Let's see. This one is actually willpower. Thank God. Or thank the dark gods. And there's my bonus. Oh. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
That is when it comes to combat,
That's
you guys
8
are
degrees.
fine.
It's everything else that we just don't know how to do.
I mean, that summarizes most of the Warhammer 40K universe. We're good at combat, Are we good at running an interstellar empire? Probably. We're doing fine.
Yeah, everything's
And just for on the record, I believe that is 8 degrees of
all
success.
right. So this, yes, it is, and this is also a psychic. What's the word I'm looking for? Not storm. The one before it.
Barrage, where it's basically
Barrage.
semi-auto?
Yes. So that's an extra 4 hits on top of the initial one.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. This is 1d10 plus my toughness bonus, which is 8.
So because these are full auto powers, or do you have it like because those are either full auto or half auto power? Does that mean you could hit multiple people with this or not?
I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest. I believe that it's generally accepted that if the target is within a meter of the initial one, you can spread auto or semi-auto. But I don't think that's an official rule. I believe that's mostly homebrew or like house rolling.
Okay. No, I know that with the I've read it before. I just need to check it real quick.
Also, this has the shocking and haywire 5 quality because I rolled 5 or more degrees of success. Haywire shorts electricity within a 5-meter radius of it, and shocking means they have to take a toughness test or be stunned.
Okay. I'll take care of that if it's still it's still alive.
Alright, so I'll just roll the damage. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll let you spread that as you will.
Okay, so alright, so the number of extra hits scored in this manner cannot exceed the weapon's semi-automatic rate of fire. Extra hits can either be allocated to the original target or other targets within 2 meters, provided that none of the new targets would have been harder to hit than the original target. If extra hits are allocated to the same target, use the table multiple hits to determine the extra hits location. Remember, the first hit is always determined by reversing the number of dice result made to perform the test. So
it hit him in the...
it would have been 39. No, sorry, it would have been 40.
40, yeah. Which I believe is torso. Let me check.
Yeah. I think we can just I don't want to have to roll where it hits for all of them if you're just going to be killing them. Does it have a penetration?
Yes, pen of 4.
Penetration of 4. So they all took 3 points of damage.
This was unfettered, by the way. I forgot to say earlier.
Okay. Do you spread it out Do you spread it out evenly among all of them?
Yeah. Well, I'll leave one. I'll spread it amongst the other 3. Is it? Because there's 5 total, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll spread it amongst those 3 in the order in which they appear to be wounded.
Okay. So you're trying to okay, yeah. So 2 of them survive your storm of psychic powers, and it is let me just check the critical hits real quick.
Yep. And the ones that do survive have to make a challenging toughness test, and they're stunned for every degree of failure. And
even if they weren't hit by the, you said
the ones that were hit do make that test. The ones that weren't but are still within a 5-meter radius have to deal with the haywire effect. I just need to double check exactly what that does.
Okay.
Haywire weapons make use of microwaves or electromagnetic radiation to destroy the inner workings of machines and tech. Everything within the field's radius, indicated by the number in parentheses, which is 5 in this case, is affected. Roll D100 on table 5-2 for the effects. Okay. Would you like me to roll that, or would you like to?
Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
7-4. Wait, what? It's telling me to roll a d100, and I look at the table. The table's d10. So let's just make that a 7, I guess. It's oh, wow. Technology within the affected area completely ceases to function. Power armor becomes unpowered, reducing the wearer's movement to 1. Characteristics or characters with cybernetic replacements, many internal organs, like our friend in the boarding tube, suffer 1 level of fatigue each round they remain in the dead zone. Melee weapons with technological opponents, i.e. power swords, function as primitive weapon of their type. So essentially, I duped all their devices.
Okay. I think I understand just a bit. Yeah, I understand this, the whole wounds thing a bit better now. Basically, it passes over from dealing wounds to dealing critical damage that accumulates over time, and it's an extra 10 for each location to until you die. Okay. So
and then there's like fatigue and things like that if it doesn't kill the character outright, but that's circumstantial.
Okay. So but you concentrated all of your 5 shots on 3 characters that were already wounded, that had already taken. There was one who wasn't wounded. But with the amount of damage that you did, it's enough that you would have gone over that, gone over their critical.
Okay. The damage type is energy, for your reference.
And I believe you said it was torso that they got hit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Their body.
Yeah, body.
Anything explosive. There's a 50 if they went over 10 wounds, critical wounds.
Yeah.
Any ammunition they're carrying, there's a 50-50 shot if they explode.
Okay. Why don't you roll 50% for us?
You got it.
And if it's under 50, it explodes.
It explodes.
All right, just give me 1 second.
And that's everybody who had to suffer that.
Yeah, everyone around him.
All right, so that's 1d. All creatures within 1d5 meters take 1d10 plus 5 explosive.
Okay. Can you roll both of these, please? Okay, so that's 10 extra damage.
An explosive radius.
Oh yeah, but that's like for each of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, each of them is cooking off ammunition.
Yeah, I think the fight's over.
Okay.
Carl just kind of
managed to kill a couple of them without lightning outright, and then the rest just died in a horrible explosive miasma of their own ammunition.
I mean, like, as far as Warhammer 40K deaths go, that's actually like a pretty okay one.
Yeah, that's not bad.
There's far, far worse.
Didn't involve a keeper secrets, for sure.
Or literally anything Sladeshi.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't involve any tentacles, so they should count themselves blessed by the God Emperor for that.
Yeah.
False Emperor, what am I saying?
The Corpse Emperor. Carry everything.
So,
okay. On top of that, can you roll the range, which is supposed to be 1d5 meters? Because if you roll 5, some of those ammunitions explode within the pits. Some of those ammunitions fall down on the... No.
Nope. That would have been pretty funny, though.
Yeah.
Just hear from the pits, oh shit, they got Dave!
All right.
I'll look at Carl and say, well, I guess that worked.
Carl is just sitting there waiting to line up a shot on the wounded arbitrator with his wimpy ass stub revolver, and then they just explode. He's just like, oh god. He's just like, oh, okay.
You lock eyes. He looks down. He looks back up. That worried, like, cartoonish, oh no face comes on, and he just explodes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's wearing a face mask. He's wearing a respirator. We can only see his eyes.
Correction, he was.
He was
wearing a respirator.
Yeah, I don't think we left a body.
I don't think I left anything. I'm pretty sure those guys were fully mulched. But yeah, I guess in the wake of that, we just press on.
Yep. Now try to figure out how we get the prisoners out of
Press
here.
on.
Avoiding the dead zone.
Yeah, press on. Press on to what? What are you going to do now? You are near the pits.
I guess we'll check out the pits if they're close.
Okay. Inside of the pits, you see a bunch of humans. Some of them look like they've been wounded. A lot of them are looking up at you at your arrival. Some of them are smiling. Some of them not. You hear someone cheering for you, like after the explosion, being like "Woo!" And you also spot something that you didn't notice previously. There is one person who isn't in the pits, who is hung by a chain above the pits, and who seems to be having trouble breathing because of the fact that he's hanging like this above his own, above one of the pits. He's getting a sort of a weird special treatment. What are you going to do?
The object that's keeping him in place, so does it appear to be affixed to the wall anywhere at about our level, or is it higher up?
It's a chain, and it goes into the ceiling, but there's switches nearby that would allow you to like control the chain and like lower it back into the pit.
Okay. I'll go over.
Move a platform, or move a platform to like reach him.
Okay. I'll move over to these panels then, and I'll probably get Carl to do it because my Space Marine gauntlets make manipulating fine things very, very difficult for some reason.
Okay, then.
Carl, would you mind helping us out here? Or open that thing out? I just look up.
Sure, I can try. I don't know what button to push, but
Just keep pushing them around until something works.
that has the tremendous potential to backfire. You know that, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Just as planned.
Just wanted to make sure that was clear, that you had already considered that. All right.
So I'm gonna check, but I think this is a security check because you're trying to get past the security of this prison block.
Oh boy.
Okay. Security deals with overcoming locks and safeguards, breaking into secure places, or protecting them from intrusion. You get a +10 to operate this thing, and you roll with intelligence.
Yeah, a +10 to operate it.
Yeah.
All right. No, that is
Okay.
2 degrees of failure.
So you press one of the buttons, and you see that this person starts the chain, instead of lowering, starts to rise, and it keeps on rising. But there's this point where the chain is where he's hung up by the cuffs on his chains, and there's a hole in the wall that's able to fit the chain, but they keep going up, and it's too small for him. So you hear a crunching sound as his body can't fit, and after a few seconds of screaming, his arms detach from the rest of his body, and he falls. And as the chain keeps going up, and he falls back into the pits, like spraying blood everywhere.
Look, thoroughly not pleased, but tiny bit amused by this chain of events. And
I
I'm
was
gonna
just
move over
like-
to the panels.
What made you think I know how to do this?
I just kind of shrug. I didn't know how to do it either. It's fine. We don't have any Alpha Legion, unfortunately. That's their sort of thing, sneaking about and fiddling around with panels. The rest of the... Or hold on now. You said that there was a platform system. Is this a platform system that could be lowered into the pit itself to...
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also like the same control panel could lower like could raise down ladders into the pits, allowing people to either go down or up from them. And that's easy enough to like. I think at this point, Carl has gotten enough of a hang of the control panels to press that button safely without killing anyone.
Well,
somebody's gonna have to
maybe
roll
only
again.
one or two people, but nothing catastrophic.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
that's just natural selection, though.
I think like the worst you could do, Carl, is like you could activate the ladders to the bars come out of the wall, and but if you press the button again while someone is climbing, it could push back the bar into the wall while their fingers were around it. So that could be not cool.
Let's try not to mutilate any more of these guys if we can help it.
Yeah, no. Carl understands the brevity of let other people get shot for you.
Ah, yes. And they unfortunately have to be in one piece to do that.
I mean, not if the.
Okay,
not if the
so do you activate the ladders for all the pits?
Should I do them all at once, or should we try and convince them to help us first?
Can we see into the individual pits themselves to gauge who or what might be contained in each one?
Yes, the lighting in this hall are sparse, is sparse, but you're still able to make out faces and address them individually. But you're going to have to, convince them to join Chaos.
The good thing is I have deceit. I have delude.
Right.
Well, that's good.
And it's a challenge. It's a base level opposed willpower test. So if we can find one person that looks like some kind of like strongman or leader, if we could strongman or leader or some other important guy.
Oh, there's that AC.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No worries. Looking into the pits, does there appear to be a clear leader amongst them? Someone with a particularly noted look of defiance more so than the rest?
No, you can't make out any potential leader just by looking at them. You'll have to try to engage them as a group and see if anyone stands out.
Okay.
Can we roll
looking down to the pits,
Can we roll
I'm going
scrutiny
to...
actually to do that?
Hmm?
Can we roll scrutiny to figure that out? Without possibly?
Yeah, you can actually roll scrutiny and see if they because they might instinctively turn to their leaders and ask for questions while
We're
there.
kind of looming over them, looking mighty
what
heretical.
do we do?
I do not scrutinize very well.
Eli, you want to find this too?
Yes. Is there any modifier for that, or is that base roll?
It's a base.
I got a
Alright,
success.
Nice.
All
0
right.
degrees of
So,
success, but I succeeded.
Alright. So in four of the pits there isn't anyone like this, but in the pits nearest you, you see two phenomena. First of all, there appears to be there appears this person. A few people turn to him and ask him like what what should we do? And he's just observing you back. But also in the same pits, there's there's this character, and she has a circle all around her, and nobody's approaching her. And she's the one who said "woo" when you killed the arbitrators and the black.
I think we found our new intern.
Okay,
So there's one guy who they do trust, and there's one person that they're scared of. Apparently.
If we can gain, well, it sounds like we've already gained the respect of one of them, but if we can turn the other one, that might be enough of a power base to make these guys do what we want.
Yeah.
One leader they fear, one they respect. That works for me.
If they're willing to play ball. So the one that already trusts us, I don't think we'll need much convincing to do.
Yeah, she or they, him, look very, very chaotic, to say the very least.
Yes, very.
Yeah, she already looks a bit mutated. So, what do you do?
So I'm gonna check a power test because I might need to put. Because I may need to. I have delude, so I can convince at least the one who seems apprehensive about us to do so. But how far away is he from the edge of the pit?
Oh, he's towards the center of the pit, and we've established that the pit is 5 meters deep already. So he's going to be at a total of 15 meters away from you.
Okay, so delude does not have enough range to get him from there from the railing, so we'd have to let him up first.
I'm gonna lean to the pit and through my box in my helm. I'm gonna start projecting a little louder. Just the simple phrase, "Who speaks for you?"
This guy steps forward and he says, I'm Lars. I'm the leader of what the Imperium called the rebellion. Who are you?
Your salvation.
Are you here to set us free?
I'm here to look for friends, and if I were to find such a thing, then perhaps I could be persuaded to release you from your bonds.
Lars turns around to his people and he says, those are servants of chaos. We've been taught all our lives to fear them. I think they're just like the Imperium. They want us to serve them. Why? And he turns back to you. What do you want from us?
What do I want from you? That's the wrong question, my dear boy. More the question is, what can I do for you?
We want to be set free, and we want to be able to return to our world. We didn't set out rebelling against the Empire. We were just trying to innovate technology, but we ended up trying to make. We were trying to make our lives better in the mines, but we ended up breaking credos of Mars. We just want to be able to return to our world and free it from the grasp of the Empire. But we don't want to have to join dark gods we don't believe in just to do that, just to go back.
No one said anything about any dark gods. I didn't ask you to join at all. This seems to be your supposition, not ours.
He looks at the signs of Slanesh that you've got on you, and Zinj, yeah, Zinj. And he says zealots tend. I didn't mean to make any suppositions. Zealots tend to be. I'm sorry if I've offended you, but zealots tend to try to convince everyone that their god is the right one, as our rebellion has seen.
Well, that seems to be quite prevalent within this Imperium as well. Believe me, I know exactly the position you're in. There was once a time when I too served the Imperium, and they asked far too much. All we wanted to do was make life better for the average citizen on our world, and what did they do? They sicked the wolves on us. For what? For something that they couldn't understand because of their savage culture? And for that ours was destroyed? Listen, I can commiserate with you. But unfortunately, there's a lot of armed individuals on this ship who view their god as the one true one and will not let you leave until you see their views. Me, I'm less about shoehorning people into roles for which they're not fitted. It's very clear that you just care about the well-being of your people. I can admire that. Hell, I can even respect it. But the men you're going to find trying to get out of here are going to do everything in their power to end your life before you even get a glimpse of your homeworld again. That's why you're here, of course. So I'll propose this, a simple proposition, if you will. You help me in liberating some more of your likewise wrongfully imprisoned brethren aboard this ship, and I'll see to it that you get a craft to get to do with as you will. Go back to your planet or wherever else, I care not. But think quickly, for this offer has a very real timetable.
Okay, so depending on whether or not you were lying about your intentions of not convincing them to join your god, you would be rolling charm or deceive. And because of your excellent roleplay, you sound very convincing. I'm giving you a plus 30 on this.
Oh.
Sweet.
It's deception, by the way. Yeah, I'm totally a serpent siege.
yeah, like you were talking.
Are you
yeah.
fucking kidding me? Again.
He only missed by one, so.
All right, this is important. Can I infamy this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, sweet. Thank you. Oh my.
Okay, just give me 1 second.
Sure.
Lars has a check to make 2 in order to see if he insists. No, he's like, all right, I'm convinced. Brothers, they're brothers and sisters. They're here to free us. They're trying to whatever their motives might be. We're on the same side today because the side of freedom. Let's trust them just long enough to get out of here. And he turns to you and says, "We'll help you fight through this through the ship. Just let us out and point us to the nearest armory."
I nod once, and I'll turn to Carl and say, "Carl, would you mind?"
Carl presses the button to release that group from the prison.
Okay. Lars moves to the other pits, and he seems to be the sort of like the recognized leader among them. A few people ask, "Where's James?" And Lars looks towards the 2 arms that are sticking all the way up, and he says, "James is gone. I'm the leader now."
Carl is hiding behind. Carl just hiding behind his compatriot, not wanting to be on the receiving end of an angry horde of prisoners. No amount of psychic power will protect him from a hundred angry people seeking vengeance.
Yeah.
Don't worry, little brother. They're with us for now. I'll say to his personal vox. I didn't say that out loud.
Okay.
All right. So, where are you headed to now?
Oh, we're gonna get this rabble armed. We need to find the armory.
Should we still free the other? Should we still free the other person?
The other pits?
Oh yeah. What's Camilla doing now that?
Camilla comes towards you and like she bows her head. She says, "I'm Camilla. I believe in the same things that you do, and that was a very good speech. I almost believed it."
I'm smiling beneath my helmet, but it doesn't show to her.
It's like, oh, you're just like, oh, you are a treat.
Yep. You are just adorable. No, I kind of like give her the thespian, kind of like cock my head to the side. I say, my dear, whatever do you mean?
I mean, I mean that I've rubbed shoulders with the likes of, well, not necessarily you, because your shoulders are too high for mine to reach, but him. She says, pointing to Carl, and she says, I've done that enough to know that anyone who bears the mark of Zinj never speaks the truth. And she says, why don't you put your money where your mouth is, and hand us a couple of weapons that we can use until we get to the armory.
What weapons?
She extends her hand to
I laugh, I say no, and I turn and walk away.
Legitimate question. What weapons? The arbitrators are the only people with weapons here turned into paste.
If you have any extra weapons that you're not currently wielding, you might have. I think almost every character that I've seen in this game has a ranged weapon and a melee weapon as character creation.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: mine are made for people that are the size of legionaries.
Yeah.
They're made for people what are about 10 feet tall and could bench press a car.
Yep. Not to mention the fact that they're relics that are basically 10,000 years old. There's no way I'm going to trust some random person I just met with those things.
And Carl would not want to give up his gun.
Camilla asks politely for your sword.
Mine or his?
Carl's sword.
Okay.
Akhenaten, what do you make of her? Should we trust her?
Well, I don't trust anyone, but you can feel free to arm her. I'll disarm her if it becomes a problem.
Very well. Very well. Carl will lower down his sword, hilt first. He has enough sense not to try and drop it pointy end at her.
Mm-hmm. Okay. She grabs it. She does a few twirls with it to test the balance, and
it is good. It is good craftsmanship. So she gets a +5 to all skill attempts using it.
Nice. And you see her turning to a couple of the people behind her who still haven't approached within 5 meters, and she says, "See, it pays to have friends in the right places." And yeah, she starts to walk in the same direction as Akhenaten towards the armor.
Yeah. After Carl hits the button to let her out.
Okay. All right. So the armory. So you reach it as the ship is shaking from the impacts of the battle going on around it, and in this distance you've got the sound of explosions rumbling across the hull. But you make it to the nearest armory, and you find that it is that the weapon system that are guarding it are activated. And as soon as you put your head through the corridor, there's two turrets coming down from the wall that turn to you and start pinning you under fire. So you're going to have to make a willpower check in order to do do anything in there.
Resist pinning.
Yeah, this is pinning. Yeah.
All right then.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so it's a challenging +0 willpower test. On a success, you may act normally. On a failure, you become pinned. When you're pinned, you have -20 to all ballistic skills tests. And yeah, there is cover, so you have to stay. You're behind cover, so that's good. And at the end of the turn, just keep pinning. The character has not been shot since the master and is under cover. You can make another +30 willpower test to escape pinning next turn, if you want. But right now, yeah, Akhenaten, you're not pinned by the fire of the turrets. You're not afraid of the hail of laser bullets ricocheting through the corridor, whereas Carl is. What do you do?
I'm going to channel a neural storm at the turrets. Are they reasonably close together, within a couple of meters?
Yes, they're within 2 meters of each other. Okay,
then I'll try and activate this power then.
Okay. Because you're the one who's not pinned, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So you don't have the -20 to aim with this. So just go ahead and do that.
Also, I did use a power at the unfettered level, so this has an increased damage bonus based on my psi rating.
Just one thing, because so because you have to see where you're aiming your power to attack, you're going to have to put yourself in harm's way. They are they're going to be able to basically they have the what's it called? They've done the action that's Overwatch. So they so as soon as you're trying to do something, you're going to have to roll. Well, you need to roll initiative and see if you can act before they can when the Overwatch activates. So go ahead and roll for initiative.
All right.
Yeah, the one time I need a good initiative.
You always needed a good initiative.
That's true too. Yeah. Okay. So I step out and they do their thing.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Yeah, they're gonna go for right. So, yeah, they're going full auto, which puts them at -10. But they're both aiming, so it compensates this. And you can make, and if for every skill test I succeed, you can make a dodge test. So I failed the first one, and I succeed the second one by with 2 degrees of success. So,
all right, I'm going to activate Precognitive Dodge.
Okay.
So it's basically, instead of using dodge or parry to evade, I'm using this power, and I can activate it as a reaction to attempt to avoid the attack.
Okay. All right. Good. I hope you roll a double.
You can hope. Oh, remember, it doesn't matter because I don't have to do that unless I push.
Yeah. You're not pushing.
Yeah. This is unfettered.
Okay. Okay. So you succeed by 2. Okay. And
so I think he still gets 1 hit, I believe.
Yeah. All right. So,
as my character just kind of like steps between 2 of the rounds and accidentally lines himself up for the 3rd. 11 damage, pen 0. Alrighty. And none of that gets through.
Oh,
okay. Your armor is strong enough to protect you from that. Okay. Okay.
Well, armor is enough to negate 9 points, and then the other 2 are negated by toughness.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. What do you do now?
I immediately respond with some DACA of my own, some mind DACA.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Just barely, but
right, so you
that's
succeed.
2 hits?
Yeah, that's because you've got the basic from for rolling under that, and you get a +1 because the difference is 10. So you got 2 hits, which means that since this is a semi-auto, you would get. Hold on, is it? Go ahead and roll the damage. It's within an area, anyways, right?
Yeah. Both with a pen of 4.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You deactivate. You deactivate the both laser turrets. The prisoners behind you say, "Wow, well, we're glad we have you on board because we wouldn't have been able to do that without any weapons."
I kind of like do that nod, half lazy, gracious nod to them, like, yes, of course. That's why I'm here.
so you got
And then
both.
march
You got both
into
of
the
them
room.
already.
Yeah. They didn't have a lot of life points.
Yeah, they. Okay.
Okay. So you rush in. The rebels rush inside of the room after the security locks get destroyed and start arming themselves. You see a lot of them are rushing for the armor first and the weapons second, which means that a lot of people only have armor and a lot of people only have guns. Because the armor doesn't have enough for everyone, but you now have a small horde of revolting prisoners with you. What are you going to do?
Well, Carl, where do we go from here?
Well, first I reclaim my sword. Now that prisoners are armed themselves, assuming she's willing to give me back my sword.
She is not. There's a limited number of weapons, and she says, "No, I like the runic etchings on this. I'll tell you what. If both of us, if you don't die during the next battle, I'll give it back to you. But in the meantime, there's not going to be enough weapons for everyone, anyways."
Wait, did you just scratch those on there yourself? He's like, what runic? He's like, what runic?
I thought that you had like some chaotic, chaos worshipping.
No, that's just him in character, like
decorations.
No, that's just him in character, like just kind of like backsassing her a little bit.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay. What? Yeah. Lars comes to you and says, the security on the higher decks is going to be much bigger because I don't know what they're transporting up there, but the guards. But we always thought we had a chance of making it out with the guards they were posting at where we were. But we saw. But when they came to capture us on our world, we saw that they had a lot of warriors and. He turns to you, Akhenaten, and he says they even had someone wearing an armor bigger than yours.
Oh.
Shit, that's Terminator. That's not good. Terminator Dreadnought. Damn. Hmm. And his eyes are kind of like flipping back and forth, and his helmet is constantly like weighing this new information versus what he was originally told.
Mm-hmm.
So direct approach is not going to work. We need to rely on subterfuge here. The question is how. Do I have box contact with the general at all?
You can try to establish it, but there's a chance that the security on this ship would pick it up and it'd be able to find you.
Okay.
So it's a risk.
All right. Well, Carl, that's a threat bigger than we seem to be prepared to face. I say over the box. I'm not saying this in front of the rabble, so to speak.
Yes.
Do you think we can take it?
Well, if it's bigger than you,
Yeah, that might be a problem.
we'll be the only ones capable enough to even dream of handling it. And I'm certain it likely packs enough that whatever it may be will likely pack more than enough ordnance to turn at least one of us into ash within sighting us.
Yeah, I fear you may be correct. Okay. Trying to recall ship schematics as best I can. Were there any maintenance hatches or ulterior access ways to get to this point?
Which point are you talking about?
Where the main prisoners are being held.
Yeah. The thing is, since this is a high security ship, there's 3 different places where they're holding Psykers, and all of them are heavily guarded. And the ships have, because it's the ship's purpose to guard those people. There's usually only one. There's a limited number of ways to reach this place. That is, if you're willing to blast a hole in a ceiling or a floor or walls and create your own entrances.
Shit, I have a melter bomb.
Oh,
so that could work.
It turns tanks into puddles.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: do I want to use that for a dynamic entry or on whatever the hell is in there that's bigger than I am?
probably the thing that could step on us.
Yeah, because I only have one.
You know we're going to run
into
these that.
But I also have a crack grenade left. So crack grenade is also anti-armor.
Well, but can a termi, no less a dreadnought, take crack, potentially survive a crack grenade?
Survive? Only if I roll low? Well, no, he definitely will. Well, no guts, no glory. To hell with it. We'll create an entry point on one of the walls. Does there appear to be a... how big is the chamber generally from what we saw? The one housing the Psykers?
It's going to be pretty big. The black ships have to transport hundreds of Psykers, at least to the back to Terra. So it's going to be big enough to house a maximum of 200 people comfortably.
Okay, so pretty huge. All right.
By comfortably, I mean by Warhammer 40K standards.
Yeah, comfortable by Imperial standards. Yeah.
Which means shoulder to shoulder with lots of pointy things uncomfortably close to your head.
Yeah.
If you have room to sit while you're eating, that is an awesome luxury that shouldn't normally be awarded to you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what I'm thinking is, none of us have anything closely resembling jump packs or climbing gear, so we probably wouldn't be very good at dynamic entry from above level.
Nor below.
Nor below. So it looks like our only option is to find a wall that may have some semblance of cover on the other side once the melt has gone off to help mask our approach, so that we're not initially shredded when we enter the breach.
Yes. Could I roll scrutiny to try and perhaps find a like maintenance shaft or something like he was talking about?
As I mentioned, the ships are designed not to have those.
At least not between floor to floor, at least.
Yeah, not around the secure prison area.
Okay.
Which makes sense because like the
that's the first place they're gonna go.
Most of the Wikipedia talking about the black ships goes on about how well secure they are, about how much emphasis they put on security because of how likely it is that chaos is going to try to take over those places.
Yeah.
So,
yep. I mean, like it's a smorgasbord of psychers. You can't keep us away.
So basically, at this point, we'd have to try and gauge which spot on the ship would be be the least defended, or which elevator would be the least defended, or at least the least at attention.
Camilla is coming towards you, and she says, "You two have been talking for a while. Is it because of this? Is it because we're facing up against a lot with such a small force?"
Small force is one thing. They're not exactly the best armed either, but yes, that's quite the reason.
So, let's say you gave me command of 50 of those people. The engines are. I've been hearing them rumbling for the entire time we've been flying. I got a general sense of where they are. I could go and cause a distraction there.
That could work.
Of course, I would. I'm only saying this because I saw the escape pods were near the engines of this ship before we got boarded on board, and if I do this for you, I'd like to have the codes to your communications to your warship so they can see me as an ally, so I can join back to safety.
How openly are we having this conversation? Like,
she's really open about it. Like,
to everybody else in the room.
I take the two of them and lead them away from the group, at least out of earshot, at least, so that we're not so overt about it.
Yeah. Just in the sense of more like the volume of the conversation, how many people can actually hear the nature of this conversation.
Like she's talking like she doesn't feel like she needs to hide any of her conversations from the prisoners, but she was like loud when she said give me command of at least 50 people, but now you're like out of earshot for anyone.
You say you need 50. That's half our number, right?
Oh no! You've got about 300 people.
Oh, she just needs 50. Yeah, we could probably do that. We're not giving her 50 armed people. That's for sure, though.
She says I need at least enough grenades to blow up some machinery.
How many of our troop appear to be like equipped with grenades?
Like a fair number. About 20 have a single grenade.
All right, I'll give her 10 of those.
Yeah, we got that for ourselves.
10 riflemen if we got them, and 10 armored men, and the other 20 are going to be just random people who couldn't find anything.
Okay.
Yeah. While he's trying to divvy up, I'm going to distract Lars, or at least convince him to go along with this, considering I doubt he trusts her.
Yeah. When you're like ordering people to go with her, Lars comes. Lars is going to start being suspicious. How are you going to keep him away from? Oh, you're about to. I see you moving on your character sheet to delude.
Yep.
He's close enough now.
Yeah, from word go, just immediately delude. This is an opposed willpower test.
Okay.
I just need to get within. Should I push just to be better off at trying to bullshit him? Because I do have deceive, and I'll get as long as if I succeed, and while the power remains in effect, I gain 5 times my psi rating to all interaction.
With him specifically, that's really good.
Yeah. So should I I should probably push, right, and go hard on it. Because I already have a base power of 3.
Yes, I would say push, just because the results could potentially be hilarious either way it goes.
Yeah. So I can add up to a +5 as an unbound psyker. That would turn into, or +5 to my psi rating on top of my already, I believe, is this +5 to my? I'm trying to figure out how this works.
What's your willpower?
My willpower is a 48.
What's your psi rating normally?
3.
3. Oh, so you're gonna be rolling under like an 80, I think, something like that.
Hold on. Because you are.
By the virtue of pushing, I'm invoking a psychic phenomena, and if I go to 5, that's my roll plus 20. Whatever I roll on the psychic phenomena plus 25. I'm playing I'll be basically giving myself a coin flip chance of causing inducing perils of the warp.
Sure. If I see him channeling a shitload of psychic power, I'm just going to step away though. Safe distance.
Okay.
I've seen enough of my brothers explode to know when I come next.
Actually, you're going to have to roll Psyniscience successfully to even perceive that he's channeling right now.
Yep. I just need to double check to see if Warp Sense gives me a bonus to that.
No, I think Warp Sense allows. Oh wait, no, yeah, it might.
Because it basically means you passively see the warp to some extent.
I'll let you check, and I'll let you make that roll to check that if you need to make that check. While our friend Carl is rolling to delude.
Yep, I can check. So since you're pushing, you have a +5 to your psi weight. So push. So that's an 8 psi rating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This changes the half action to use Psyniscience to a free action, and I can passively detect psychic effects and entities without the need to actively seek them out.
And considering I'm going about as hard as I can.
Yeah. You notice. You step away.
Yeah, I'm taking up a safe distance.
So, focus power test. Now, this is opposed willpower. And my psi rating...
He already rolled 3 degrees of success.
What?
He already rolled 3 degrees of success.
No, that's 4.
Is it?
Yep. Because I got a first one just for succeeding.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, it is 4.
Yeah.
Okay, and sorry, I'm just trying to do the mental math to try and figure out, because that's plus 40 to my willpower plus 10, I believe, from my psi focus.
What was your willpower passively?
My willpower base is 48.
So that brings you to 90.
You're rolling 98. Oh my god, okay.
Just one thing before you roll. This is a power at +0. It's a challenging test, so yeah you're rolling at you're trying to roll less than 98.
Yeah.
And I'd be 100.
on a D100. And then I need,
Go.
and then I'll roll the willpower, and then I'll roll perils to see, or the.
I think it's just phenomena to start.
Yeah, I'll roll phenomena. I'll roll phenomena after I succeed, or he decides to beat the shit out of me for trying witchcraft on him.
Yeah. Also, like you get a plus 25 to your psychic phenomena.
Yeah, I remember.
For having push. Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Oh, he super believes me.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
nice.
super trustworthy. Now I'll roll psychic.
Hold on. You also rolled an 11, which means you get fatigue from this.
Oh boy.
Pushing. If a Psyker uses this level of power, rolls a double on his focus power test, you suffer a level of fatigue from the effort. So you're fatigued. He super believes you, and now roll plus 25.
Yep.
For psychic phenomena.
Yep. Psychic phenomena plus 25. I'm already like accepting that it's likely perils of the warp.
Yeah.
Because
that's why we're here.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, that's not bad actually.
Now
yeah.
let's see what I just invoked.
63, the Furies. The Psyker is assailed by unseen horrors. He is slammed to the ground and suffers 1d5 in damage, ignoring armor but not toughness bonus. And he must test against fear 2.
Oh boy. You know, the two things I was most scared of really were Annihilation and Dark Summoning. Because I was either going to explode or a Bloodthirster was just going to appear and murder everything just to murder me.
Fun fact, that actually happened to my my friend Librarian in a Deathwatch game. Literally the first psychic power he manifested, he accidentally the Bloodthirster and exploded.
How many did it kill?
Oh, we were in the middle of like this mass pitch battle, so it killed like a shitload of NPCs and took the legs from 2 of our main squad members. But I had a Land Raider, so it didn't last much longer.
Okay. All right. So I'm.
Roll for willpower at minus 10 for the fear. And if you fail, you'll have to roll for shock.
All right.
There's just so many rolls in this game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know. It's especially once you start adding in the other splat books too.
Okay, so you fail. If a character or creature fails a fear test in combat situation, you must immediately roll on the table 8 for shock. That is a D100. And plus 10 to the roll for each degree of failure. You have failed by 1, 2, 3. So you roll 1d100 plus 30. This penalty lasts as long as the character remains in the vicinity of the object of his fear, and simply leaving for a moment, then returning does not negate this.
47.
47, shock. Reeling with shock, the character slowly backs away from the thing that confronts him. The character cannot willingly approach the object of his fear, but may otherwise act normally, albeit with a minus 10 penalty on all tests for the rest of the encounter. So,
was he afraid of himself?
No.
He manifested the power.
He is confronted by unseen horrors that he perceives. So, what happens is that your character sees. You look up, and you see this sort of demon-like creature that pinned you earlier. By the way, you still have to roll damage for that.
Yeah.
And it's standing in front of you, and it looks humanoid with 2 heads. One is the head of your father, the other the head of your mother, and it has 4 arms, and it's screeching out at you so loud. But people around you don't seem to be able to notice this.
Oh boy,
Carl, what the fuck are you looking at, boy? Carl, you there?
Carl. So
Dang
I took 2 wounds. because I think because it goes.
It ignores armor, but not toughness.
Yeah, so that's 2 wounds.
Yep. That's 2 wounds, and roll 1d100 to see where the where it hits you. Oh no, we don't care about where it hits you for now.
Yeah,
because you still have wounds.
Pointless right now. So current wounds.
Yeah.
2.
So you just deluded this.
I deluded him hard too. He's super trusting.
The leader.
Theoretically, you could make him
yeah.
believe in the demons you're seeing.
Yeah, he has this sort of glazed look on his face.
Well, it's not that it's not like mind control. It just means he super trusts me.
Yeah.
It's charm person, not dominate.
Okay. Then, in which case, he comes towards you and puts his hand on your shoulder, and tells you, "Is everything all right, friend?"
I need a moment. Please come with me. I pull him aside. And then I pull Lars aside, away from our other, away from where we pulled Camilla aside.
So presumably by this point, I've already gotten Camilla set up with the 15.
I know. I just don't want to. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to jaw jack and bullshit this. It's like because he doesn't trust, and I'm going to roll to deceive him.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I'm going to roll to deceive him to bullshit him into believing that we've talked Camilla into trusting us. And I'm just trying to think of the role play in it real quick.
Yeah.
Because I know he's not going to trust us unless I come up with some that he's going to be suspicious anyways, unless I come up with some bullshit.
So you have 8 as a side rating for this role, which means
plus 40.
Which means you get a plus 40 on interaction skills with him, and yeah, he tells you what's happening. Why is Camilla? Why are you separating all of those people from the main group right after Camilla told to you?
We are going to split our forces, and she's willing to take just those few men to go and disable the engines for us, and then she will, as you know, regardless of whether you trust me and my compatriot, and whether or not you trust our story, whether or not you trust and believe our stories. I
trust you. It's just her. She wasn't captured because she was part of the rebellion. She was captured to be interrogated because she was a member of a cult.
And I absolutely believe you. And believe me, that did not escape my notice. However, given that she has found some rapport with us. She has found some rapport with us. Though she knows better than to trust, of course, my Marine compatriot to every single bit of his word. If for the sake that her cult may not necessarily trust him. During our conversation, I've convinced her to help us and stay with us, She will join back up with us after her mission is completed, and she's promised to do, and she's done and though she's made no promises as to how many men she will bring back, she does promise to help us. Basically, what I'm trying to get him to do is I'm trying to convince him that she's not going to suicide mission just for the sake of a cut and run.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead and roll, and I'm canceling the fear bonus because of how good your role play was. Okay.
Okay.
So you can just roll with the plus 40.
Okay. Hold on. want to make sure I get the right thing. And that'll be deceive.
Yeah. Deceive, and you're gonna roll against my. I guess not my willpower, but.
Not as good as I'd like.
Could be worse though.
Yeah.
Could be a lot worse.
I mean, because it's base, and I should have pressed deceive, but it's base fellowship to it's base fellowship anyways, because I only just have known, so it doesn't really matter. But I succeeded.
Same here.
He nods and he says, "I can't be everywhere. Fine. Let's if it's only temporary, then and you seem to have a plan. Then let's do this." Okay. So Camilla starts to move away and heads towards the back, and a couple of 15 minutes later, you're going to hear a loud bang, and the lights all over the ship are going to flicker on and off as the backup generators are taking over, and she's causing a distraction. Where are your characters at this point? And,
well, Carl shimmies along the edge of the wall, to avoid the horrible apparition he just saw, because oh no.
Where this thing is warp based, do I get the vague sense that something's there?
I don't know if it's
or does this only appear to him? Is this an actual intrusion from the warp, or is it just in his head?
I guess it is a semi. Yeah, I think you see it.
Or no, he notices it. I think at least.
Yeah, I can kind of sense it, and I'm a little uneasy about it. But I understand why Carl's acting so weird now.
but you saw me get him to believe my bullshit.
Oh yeah, no, it was totally worth it. Whatever you did. I saw you using all of your power, and then I saw a demon, but you achieved results, right? So that's all that matters.
Yes. And so, as they head off, and we hear a distant and low rumble, shall we take to the nearest group of the nearest holding cells?
Yes, I believe we should. Be wary though. There are going to be nulls and other things ready to kill us. How close is the closest hold? How close is the closest Psyker den or whatever?
It's 2 levels above and 3 corridors away. You head there. You plant a grenade against one of the walls near the section that is guarded, and as soon as it explodes, your troops charged in, led by Lars, who declares, "We're going to free the rest of our brothers and sisters of the rebellion, and anybody else who's been captured by this empire that's trying to keep us in the darkness where new technology cannot shine." And
before he runs off,
death to the false emperor. Sorry.
Yeah, before Lars runs off, I'm gonna kind of inform. I'll tell him. I'll give him a description of what at least got people matching that one null we saw. And I let him know. Well, I let him know that I tell him, if you see any of these men, kill them with extreme prejudice. They are this group's answer to us.
Yeah. So
basically, I tactically advise him to kill gnolls if he's to take out gnolls.
Yeah, they're basically priority targets for him.
Yeah.
Okay. So they start fighting. You see the arbitrators who are present, who are fighting back, and the two of you the two of you like participate in this fight just a little bit, but but we don't need to make any rules for just the start of the fight because nobody's really on your level, and your horde of rebels are taking care of things properly. That is until the wall bursts open and a new servant of the Empire of the Emperor steps into the battle, immediately spots the both of you, and starts to run towards you.
Oh, fuck me.
Boy.
Okay.
They're not just the answer to us. They're also us.
Literally made to fuck us over. This is great. All right.
Roll initiative!
Yep. Before I went in, though, could I have reloaded to my warp rounds with my bolter real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
And we can consider you have the weapons that you need in your hand. Okay. 11! Yay!
Yeah, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah, it bloody is.
Oh, so close.
So close. And
So
all right.
How are there nulls? Do we notice
Yeah,
the presence of
the nulls, the blanks and the nulls have been taken care of. It's the only thing that you have to
the only thing on our level is this guy.
So that's a plus, but on the other hand, that's a penalty because he also has psychic powers.
I was gonna say he was just as affected by the nulls as we were.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. My psychic powers are the only thing I've got going for me.
That's true. Yeah.
My gun. The Imperial Guard's t-shirt armor laughs at my gun. Much less this fucker in that fancy shit.
Yeah. You would have been putting on what amounts to a very impressive laser light show for him, and that's about it.
Yeah. By the way, I advise both of you to go with the weapons or psychic powers that have the best penetration for the against this person.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I am.
All right. So charging, if I remember correctly, is a full action.
I'm hoping he sees the traitor Astartes and goes, "Traitor!" and ignores the little squishy nerd. The
Not
little
only
squishy
that,
nerd
a
in the
traitor
back.
sorcerer, man, like the shit he was bred to eat for breakfast.
Yeah. At least long enough.
Yeah, and
at least long enough for me to maybe doom bolt his ass.
he has hatred, Chaos Space Marine, so of course he's charging you first. The Psykers second.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay. The psychic powers. Charging. I've got to check.
He has to be able to draw a straight line to me, and it's
Yeah, it's fine. There's people in his way, but they're not stopping him.
there's literally no impetus. He just goes through them.
Yeah. All right. So just let me check if I get a +10 for charging.
You do, yes. Unless he has a talent which increases it to +20, but I can't remember what that's called offhand.
No, he's actually he has faith in his armor, and so he is going to make an all-out attack and get a +30 to his weapon skill.
All right.
At this point, I'm tempted to like nuke him again, to like go all out against the giant Psyker Marine.
We're gonna need to nuke this guy.
Yeah.
Wow, I just rolled a 7 on an 80 on a check for 85.
Yeah.
That is 8 degrees of success. Good luck on your dodge or parry.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Oh god, and it's got a force weapon too.
Probably, but it'll be fun. Let's see. What do I have that can do anything at all? Please. Just grasping at whatever straws I have left.
Well, I think cognitive precognitive dodge is like a reaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm probably going to do.
Here's what I'm saying: push with your precognitive dodge. That is
yes.
That's probably your only chance.
Yes. So with push, that's an extra 3 psi rating, correct?
For Chaos Marine, for Sorcerer Marine, I think so.
Okay.
Just
Let me double check.
They changed my bonus to plus 30.
because you're bound. Yes, it's +3 to your side raising.
Up to plus
Okay,
3.
so I have plus 30 to my test from that.
But as an aside, you have a much less likely chance of invoking anything too dangerous with the perils of the warp or the psychic phenomena.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you just roll with a +10, which is
At this point, I'd take the perils just to accidentally summon a demon because I'm probably dead anyway. Give me
Probably.
my last final fuck you to this guy before I get sent back to the warp.
Okay.
All right, so that's a total modifier of 40. Yeah, that's
Oh
I think that's
shit!
enough to do it. Us.
okay. So
I think so. I think you got more degrees. Did you?
the target is okay. So
That's 9 degrees of success.
Oh. See, here's the reason. Here's the reason we don't that the nulls being gone helps us more than it hurts us. It doesn't matter if his psychic powers don't work or his force sword doesn't work. He's still an Astartes. The only thing, again, there's only one being in this room that can consider him can be considered a peer.
okay.
That's me.
So yeah, that's you. You've got 8 degrees of successes, and he has 8 degrees of successes too.
So we cancel out then. That's a pass.
Hold
Just
on.
barely.
Hold on. I gotta check for playing the game. Contested rolls. Opposed tests. If the result is still a tie, then the lowest die roll wins. I rolled a 7. You rolled a 24, so I win.
Oh, that sucks. All right.
All right.
Lay it on me.
1d10 plus 13 penetration 8.
Oh.
Yeah, this might just kill me outright.
All right. Oh, sorry. That's I rolled a 10. It wasn't a +3. It was a +13. So I do 23 damage with a penetration of 8. How much damage does that do in total to you?
12.
12.
I'm still alive.
You still have 1 point of
Nope.
wounds.
I
Nope.
still have 4.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. It's also. It's tearing. So I could have.
You can't roll higher than a 10.
No, it's not tearing. The bolter is tearing. Yeah, I can't roll higher than a 10. So
Yeah.
So we're good. But basically, his force plate just tore through your armor. Oh no, yeah. The force sword has a penetration of 8, not 4. Sorry. There's 2 weapons. I'm getting confused. It's okay.
Oh, take time.
We're good, and that's it for his turn. Eli, it's your turn. What is Carl going to do?
You see Akhenaten just get brought low by a single blow as this thing charges him with everything he has.
He sees the sword basically pass through your power armor like it's tinfoil. All right, I'm going to push to +5 again.
Okay.
So
No, wait. We forgot. Please, you just Akhenaten, I'm going to need you to roll because you pushed at a +10 for a
right.
psychic phenomenon. That's
At a +10 or a +25?
+10 for you because
it's plus
you're a bound psyker. You only have there's only so much that you can.
Okay, gotcha. 75. What did I win,
hey,
boss?
deja vu.
75 plus is a peril of the warp. You roll again.
Yay! I get to roll twice though.
You fuck.
You get to roll twice and keep the one that you like. This is really cool because we almost forgot the most fun part of the game.
This stuff is the most. It's definitely the most fun. It's just still like, and this is the one place I'm okay with it being.
Yeah, me too. Right in a Grey Knight's face.
Oh.
All right,
Okay.
26 or 24?
Yeah. So
26 or 24, you said?
It's either Soul Seer, or Locked In. The first one is warp power courses through the Psyker's body, scorching his soul. The Psyker cannot use any powers for the next hour and gains 2d5 corruption points, which could possibly bring you over to your third gift of the gods. And Locked In, the power cages the Psyker's mind in an ethereal prison, tormented by visions of the warp. The Psyker falls to the ground in a catatonic state. Each round thereafter, he must spend a full action to make a difficult -10 willpower test. On a success, his mind is freed and restored to his body, haunted by his experiences, but otherwise unarmed.
I'll take that corruption just for fucking lulz.
Here's the one thing I should warn you about.
Yep.
You cannot use any powers for the next hour. I think that makes it hard. I think the Great Knight, if you take Locked In, the Great Knight is going to assume you are dead and move on to the next Psyker, which gives you a chance to come back into the fight with your powers that have a better chance of defeating him. Whereas if you take Soul Seer, and you're not able to use your psychic powers, it puts you at a disadvantage for attack later on. So it's up to whether you want to. Yeah, it's so. Which one are you going to take?
All right, I'll take Locked In. Screw it. I'm brought to my knees.
All right. So that's going. So you can already make the willpower -10 test for your turn, because your turn is coming up, and it's Lars' turn. Lars, what do you do?
Well, Carl, seeing as how he just witnessed the Chaos Space Marine seemingly brought down, he's going to push all out, push for another +5 psi power on Doombolt. Or would Psychic Scream be better?
Not Doombolt, because of that pin.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Because it's half actions. I'm just trying to remember. Focus power is also half action, so it's not like I can throw out Doombolt.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah. So I'm casting my focus power. That's a willpower roll plus 5 times 8. 40. So my willpower, I need to beat an 98 because of my psi focus. So modifier 50. Oh,
nice.
That's
beautiful.
That is 9 degrees of success.
So he takes an additional 4 hits, as it's a psychic barrage, and they are all 1d8. It's 1d8 plus 8 with penetration 8.
Okay, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so that's 86. Yeah, so that is 9 degrees of success. So you take, so that's 4. So that's a total of 5 balls. Go ahead and roll the damage for all of them. It's a penetration of 8, right?
Yeah, so it ignores 8 armor. So I'm
okay.
gonna roll.
So that means I only have 6 points of resistance left. Yeah. So just roll the d10s.
So should I roll them all individually and subtract the damage from my bonus?
Yeah, no, because he still has a six points to soak your damage. You should roll all of them at the damage -6. The damage you're supposed to do -6.
Okay. So yeah, per hit. So.
Wait. What's the damage supposed to be after no penetration, just the damage?
After the penetration, it's 1d10 plus 8.
Okay, so just roll 1d10 plus 2.
Okay.
And you can just copy it and paste it like a couple of times.
Actually, if you hit the upwards directional key on your keyboard, it'll go back to the last thing you rolled.
Oh, I've been a game master on this for a while, and I did not know this. That's awesome.
Hands down, one of the most useful features you'll find in Roll20.
Oh yeah, no, that's great because it's so tiring to reroll everything all the time.
For a system like this where you just have D100s, it's fantastic.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so that is 16, 27, 33, 38. Okay, so I have 25 wounds, so that is 13 extra. But, okay, 13 extra, so that is, and because, they all supposedly hit different places. So just give me 1 second. The last two, because it's 13, the last three can be in different places. So roll 3 die 100 to determine the places where he's hit.
3D100s to determine where he gets hit?
Yeah, 3D 100. And if it's all in the same place, he dies. And if it's spread, and if the last two hit in the same place, he dies. Otherwise, he is just going to hurt a lot.
I believe in the heart. I believe in the heart of the die. So 3 times you said correct. So I need 2 of these rolls to be within the same range of each other.
You should be believing in the chaos gods and the game master's mercy, but okay.
Yeah, the heart of the die. I believe in the spleen of the dice.
Yeah, roll 1d10 3 times. 1d100 3 times. Okay, 86, 26. So it's going to be left arm. Okay, it's going to be left arm and
I think it's left arm and both legs.
No, both of them are on the left leg. The first two. Okay, so he took an extra 13, which means he takes.
Those are supposed to be reversed, by the way. For the purpose of.
For
his application. So it should be a 98, then a 62, and a 68.
Okay.
If 2 torsos and 98.
98 is left leg. What sort of what type of energy is this? So I can describe his.
It's energy damage.
Okay. Energy leg. All right. Okay. Energy critical effects legs. Okay. In a terrifying display of power, the leg immolates and the fire consumes the target completely. The target dies in a matter of agonizing seconds. You did it. You defeated a Grey Knight
on my own.
All on your own.
Single-handedly.
That was all you. No, seriously, I was expecting to kill you with this guy. Like, I'm disappointed in myself for this because you're just a level 1 character who just pushed.
I just pushed all out and just wasted the Inquisition's specifically designated anti-psyker unit made to go toe to toe with people like Azric Ahriman.
Yeah.
And some regular human nerd, a runaway from the black ships who got basically got roped into this mission just because he just doesn't want to get killed, just killed one of the children of the Emperor, basically.
Well, congratulations. Seeing this, the last of the Imperial troops surrendered to the rebels. And
you can't see it right now, but I'm doing the Randy Orton pose.
The rebels who are not members of Chaos, they accept the surrender, and you free the Psykers, and it is with a lot of ease that you take the rest of the black ship. But the problem is, as soon as you reach the
Oh, I need to roll. We need to roll peril. Psychic.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
we got some arrows.
Absolutely. My bad. So that is going to hurt.
Oh shit!
That's perils.
All right. let's see if I suicided to take him.
Dude, I don't care who you are. That's a fair trade.
No,
A regular second for a Grey Knight? Hell yeah.
no, I agree with you. I'm just saying. Let's see. Oh, there's so much I could get wasted by.
Just tell me what you rolled, and it might kill you both.
That's
Oh
true.
shit, that's right.
It could kill everyone in the room.
I
It
could.
could be a demon. It could kill everyone on the ship.
Honestly, I'll take that as. Oh,
Yeah.
hold on.
Oh, that's
85.
That's bad.
That is mass possession. Demons ravage the mind of every living thing within 1d100 meters. Every character in that area must resist a possession check. This possession will last for no more than 2d10 rounds, after which the demons are cast back into the warp. So, roll 1d100 meters, and I'm going to roll the 2d10 rounds.
All right, 1d. You said 1d100.
14 rounds. Yes, 1d100.
Oh,
That's predictable.
You cast it on enough people in the room that the arbitrators are possessed, the rebels are possessed, and the Psykers are possessed.
We did it, boys!
When you emerge again, you realize with horror that you've all been possessed by Slaanesh demons who decided to go full orgy on this.
oh boy.
No, technically, I've got to make you roll for this. But
I'll roll for it.
yeah, possession.
Here's the
possession,
thing. I'm praying.
talents,
The two things I'm praying it isn't. Corn and Nurgle.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's. Oh god.
What do I roll?
Slaaneshi though. Slaaneshi could be bad.
Okay, so the possession attack.
Willpower probably. Usually
Entity.
contested.
I mean, what do I roll to determine the?
Okay. Opposed willpower tests each round until either the entity or the victim achieve a total of 5 degrees of success over the other. You know what? We're going to make it simpler. We just roll once because I don't want to roll until somebody has 5 degrees of success over another person. That's just going to be too many rolls for a one shot.
Okay.
If that's fine with everyone.
That's fine.
Oh yeah, not
We're
that.
Okay.
just to expedite this.
Yes.
Just to expedite this moment of glory. And did you want? And was there anything else you needed me to roll, like for what comes through? Or are we just going with the Slaaneshi?
No. I'm just going to go Slaaneshi because I feel like that's the most interesting thing to wake up to.
It's also the most appropriate, I'd say.
Victory orgy.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I rolled with
Oh boy.
it's 4 degrees of success, and I can attend. You just woke up, so you'll have to roll 2.
Oh okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, so I can attend. You resist, but everybody else in the room doesn't.
I'm just gonna leave and let them do their thing.
Yeah, you.
Just slowly back out to the hole in the wall.
Yeah. No, you got your gaping sword wound. You see the immolated, destroyed carcass of the Grey Knight on the floor. You're like, what the fuck did I miss? Oh, you're like, what the fuck did I miss? And you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna let this play out.
You're like, never mind. I don't need to know. I'll be out here when y'all are done.
I just love the image of a chaos space marine towering over everyone else with beautiful angel wings, seeing the carnage and raising his hand like this and backing out of the room slowly.
It's
My
like
hope
that one.
is not my thing.
It's like that one meme of Homer from The Simpsons where he just fades into where he just like back fades into the hedges. Just see ya. Just like I'll be back in 10 minutes.
The greatest orgy in like a century is going on 30 feet to my left.
You're just like I think I meant so this random human psyker not only managed to one-shot a Grey Knight, also managed to gross out a Tzeentch sorcerer, a Thousand Suns sorcerer.
In one turn.
Gross out not as much. He just left. He has no stake in this. It's not a fight.
Oh, did you roll for? Oh, it's 14 rounds. Okay.
Oh God, that's a solid orgy. Like a couple minutes.
It's only, what's a round? Like, what's a round in this game? Like
roughly between 6 to 10 seconds.
Somewhere between. Somewhere up.
It's 2 long minutes.
And so, like,
it makes sense. So, a lot of these people have been penned up for a long time. They got to get out of the system. It's been a while, you know.
It is, after all.
Well, here's the problem.
Warhammer 40K. So.
Here's the problem, though. Is it's Slaanesh. So it's not just sex.
Yeah.
Merry Slaaneshmas, everybody.
Hey. I'm just saying, it's not just gonna be like wanton sex. There's going to be some really weird shit going on that we're just gonna glance right over.
I think there's like also some mutations that happen because of the demon possession, and like the first thing that Carl Gamora hears when he wakes up is, "I have the weirdest 5 boners right now."
Honestly, the only way this could have been the only 2 ways this could have been better was if it was Dark Summoning or Annihilation.
Or both somehow.
Or maybe Grand Possession. Maybe.
Grand Possession's usually pretty funny.
I mean, it would have been amazing because that means I basically get permanently possessed. I become a not quite demon host.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, while retaining a bit of yourself, I think.
Well, yeah. A greater demon chosen by the GM attempts to possess the Psyker, see possession. Even if the demon fails, I still suffer or 1d10 and will forever add. It basically means I got a huge chance of basically being. It's not good.
Yeah.
No. But it's funny, narrative speaking.
Did anything happen to Carl?
He's not
growing 4 penises you don't remember having?
I swear I didn't. I swear this usually doesn't happen to me.
Not complaining, just saying.
Well, okay, so you don't get any mutations or wounds or weird tattoos during the entire encounter, but you do wake up from the entire thing, the way a lot of people wake up with a lot of regrets after a night of drinking too much.
So I basically am hungover and I'm walking a little funny.
Somehow he wakes up next to fucking Camilla.
No, she's gone.
Nowhere. Yeah, I know, but it would be really funny if she was brought back just for the orgy.
No, it's Warhammer 40K, so like most of the guardsmen are going to be dudes, and most of the members of the rebellion are also.
They're more used to getting screwed by high command, so this shouldn't be a problem for them.
There's no. It doesn't offend me. I'm just like. I'm just saying this is going to be a really interesting. Like the ride home is going to be. I'm just saying the drive home is going to be really uncomfortable.
Listen, alright, it's not gay if it's in prison, and it is in prison.
Hey.
Oh, that's right, the Psykers too.
Yep.
Can be a variety of ages.
This was a good old-fashioned prison orgy, guys.
This.
With a little bit of minor demonic
Moving on.
it's
Moving
not
on
game,
before
it's
I
in
dive.
prison? Dude, like, that's not cool.
That's just straight up a joke.
Yeah, I know, but just like, there's nothing wrong with being gay, and
No, I know.
That's not what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
I'm saying they could be. That's not what I'm saying.
There's
I'm
no
saying it's
negative
gonna be a really
connotation at all. It's
uncomfortable,
just straight
a
up a joke.
really awkward drive home for a lot of these
Yeah.
people.
Especially if they're the same unit.
Oh yeah.
Let's.
I'm just saying it's like, whoa, is it gonna be like everybody wakes up, realizes what just happened, everybody's gonna just be like, I'm trying to think of the it's like getting
Honestly, I think the orgy's the least of their problems. They all just got possessed.
true.
Yeah.
But I'm
They
just
might have
like,
other things on their minds.
Okay, let's move
someone,
on
I
to.
mean, come on, let's be real. Someone woke up in someone.
God.
Sorry.
Yeah, like literally, two people fused together.
Oh God!
Oh dear.
Please tell me it was. Please tell me it was. Please tell me it was the Imperials.
No, it's going to be it's a blank and a psyker.
Oh God!
It's a dead blank that gets brought back to life during the orgy and has and is melded to the psyker. That's a fun combination.
The unstoppable force meets the unyielding object.
Oh boy! I mean, this is gonna. I mean, that's gonna be an interesting life to adjust to when it goes back to being dead.
Or half of it does.
Yeah, I mean, that poor Psyker's just that poor Psyker's just gonna die a horrible infection death as the blank's body goes back to rotting.
Well, yeah,
He might
I
be-
mean,
he
like,
might-
just by the
he might
hint of
find some
that,
comfort in Papa Nurgle, though.
the thing is, we've traveled in, like, a Nurgling ship, so we're probably bringing some stuff with us when we come here.
Oh yeah, you like probably a lot of things just spread to the rebels. Anyways, you take control of the ship, and once you establish control, you're headed towards the deck. You're headed towards you've just finished clearing the last remnants of fanatical resistance aboard the ship, taking care of any Inquisitor or Sisters of Silence that were on board. What are your characters discussing as you're just walking through the corridors?
I would imagine a lot of it's just avoiding eye contact.
Yeah, no, Carl is just like, he's at this point. He's like, the elation and grandeur of killing a Grey Knight, who I call dibs on the fucking sword. I don't care if I can use it. It's mine now.
Good luck. It's probably sanctified.
First of all, it's sanctified, but that doesn't affect your characters apart from the fact that it hurts demons more. But also, it's a Terminator armor sword. You can't wield it. You're a puny human.
I know. I literally just said.
he's
I don't care
just
if I can
dragging it
wield it.
along
It's
by the hill
mine now.
behind him. He can't lift it. It's just dragging on the ground.
I'm not. I said I don't care if I can use it. It's mine now. This is my trophy.
You won it from Conquest.
Yes, exactly.
I would have taken the dude's helm because I wanted it for my collection.
All right.
Thinking what?
His helm. If you look on,
I know they have helmets. I was just like, I just didn't hear you.
No. I was just saying that Akinan has a bunch of them on his belt from a bunch of different loyalist legions he's killed, and this is just the new one. Even though he didn't technically kill it, it's
You did an impressive dodge.
That's true. That's true.
Again,
Right.
still, I just say call dibs on the sword just for props.
You make it to the deck, and you're about to try to establish communications with the general again to inform him of your victory. When you realize that the general's ship has been crushed, not by Imperial forces, but by a group of by a group of ships that just escaped not the warp, but the webway. A group of dark elves that seems to have had exactly the same idea as you when it came to attacking the black ship and raid it for servants. And it's looking at this grim future ahead of you of more fighting and to end this game.
Ah, in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, there is only war.
Of course.
Yeah. You might have had a victory for a few seconds, but then something else came along to make things.
The BDSM elves, the BDSM elves showed up.
They
heard about the orgy.
They felt that all the way in Kamara. They felt that all the way in Kamara. They mobilized. Vect was like, did you feel? Yeah, Vect was just like, oh my god, did you feel? Oh my god, did you guys feel that? Let's go.
Everyone, mount up.
Well, I must say this was a lot of fun. You're much more fun than the previous group of 40K players I did a campaign with.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that story.
Huh?
I remember you telling me that story when we were making my character.
Yeah, I made a video about that story. Have a nice day, everyone, and will be. If you're interested in one-shots like this, don't hesitate to contact me on YouTube or elsewhere and suggest games in the comment section that you want to see. Test it out to see what it will, what the gameplay is like. This game is really nice because of the features of the Chaos of the War, but there's just so many dice rolls. Anyways, have a nice day, everyone.
Hi everyone, and thank you for watching this video. If you want to keep up with all of the adventures on this channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so you can get a notification each time we upload, and it would be very nice of you to like and share the video to help this channel grow. Have a nice day, everyone.